If you have ever sold out at a craft fair but struggle to sell your stuff online, this video is for you. Today we are talking about the top 6 mistakes that beginners make when moving from booth to browser. And we're going to talk about some ways to fix those mistakes. My name is Natalie, and I am the owner and creator here at Sparks of Joy Studio. Welcome to my channel. I love not only creating and selling at craft fairs and online, but also teaching you as a level up from a beginner to a beginner. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you which website is better than another. That's really not what the purpose of today's videos is. It is really more about things that we all make mistakes with, regardless of what platform we're selling on, and what we want to make sure that we're doing regardless of that platform. So whether you're Etsy, on a website of your own, or selling on some other platform, then please make sure you take these ideas down, because you can definitely use these strategies wherever you plan to sell online. The first mistake that many beginners make is treating their online shop like their craft booth. You have to remember that when you are selling online, your customers need clarity fast. They don't have you right there for that personal interaction, for that connection, for that ability to answer any questions that they may have right on the spot. They need to be able to find those answers very quickly with their product searches on your website.
So remember, you want to have clear product titles, a description that really answers what and why, and lifestyle photos that show scale and use.
Mistake number 2, not niching down early. This is a big one that I struggled with myself. You want to list everything you've ever made when you first open up your online shop, because you don't have to worry about the same things that you would at a craft fair, right? You have your display that you would worry about in a craft fair, making sure everything kind of is cohesive and goes together well. But online, you can just create new categories, put everything in different spots. The challenge with this is nobody has learned your brand yet. Nobody trusts you yet. So the best thing to do is to get really good at 1 or 2 product categories, then expand as you become more visible on social media, more visible on the internet, and develop that trust with your online customers the same way you do when you're at craft fairs.
So remember, you want to start with 1 to 2 product categories, build your collections, and think of things that are giftable, seasonal, and bestsellers.
Mistake number 3, treating your online pricing the same way you do at craft fairs. I remember going through a lot of different videos when I first started selling at craft fairs and selling online. And I remember hearing somebody say that you want to make sure your prices stay this consistent, whether you're selling online or at a craft fair, because if you're at a craft fair and somebody goes to your website, they might notice the different prices and be confused. Well, here's the thing. There is a purpose for having those prices be different. You have to consider how you're selling online is going to be different. You have to account for the shipping costs, the packaging that's going to be included, things that you wouldn't necessarily, other additional costs you wouldn't necessarily have to worry about if you're selling in person at a craft fair. So those do need to be adjusted into your price when selling online, and considering those things, but without going a little too far above what your craft fair price is. You want to make sure that you are still making a profit when you're selling online, the same way that you are looking for that profit when you're selling in person.
Just remember, you're pricing for sustainability, and online is not a clearance rack.
I think this next mistake is one that we all can agree with, is one of the hardest parts about selling online. It is having weak or not enough photos of your products. When you don't have great photos, or let's say you only have one photo, you don't have any kind of way to demonstrate how it's used, or you don't, not even providing like a scale of what it looks like comparatively. Those types of things are what will move somebody from selling out to not selling at all. So really consider appropriate lighting, consider having some photos where you are using that product within, within, let's say, on a shelf or on a table, or if it is like a tag, having it show up on a wrapped gift, really to give your customers an idea of what that item looks like. They don't have the ability to pick up the product and hold it and touch it and feel it and think about it the same way that they would when they are in person. So you have to create that ambiance, create that feel with your product photos in the best way you can.
Remember, you want to use bright, natural lighting, multiple angles, and showcase your product in use in your photos.
Mistake number 5, no clear why buy this. One of the things that we talked about on another video way back in August was really understanding that your customers buy things for one of 3 reasons, right? They want to solve a problem, they want to come up with a thoughtful gift, they want to find a way to really have a reason for purchasing, and you want to give them that reason without them having to search for it. You don't want them sitting there contemplating whether or not to buy it, because on the internet, there are so many other places that they can just jump to more easily than walking to the next booth at a craft fair. You have to make sure that you're coming up with not only what your product is, but why they should be buying it, why they want to purchase from you over that other product that's very similar and maybe even cheaper. What makes your product stand out from the rest, and why would I want to buy it from you?
Consider gift solutions, organization helpers, sentimental keepsakes, and seasonal stress savers.
The final and most important mistake that beginners make is trying to do everything at once. This will lead to burnout, overwhelm, and honestly, will cause many of you to just quit. I do not want that to happen for you. I want you to be successful the same way I want to be successful. And I will tell you, the best thing that I could have done was starting small and taking one step at a time. That means you have to consider all the factors, right? You're going to need to be on social media to be able to sell online. You're going to want to really consider what your website's going to look like, what other things you want to do. But if you are trying to set up a blog, go on all the social medias at once, put all of your products on your website, you are going to burn out fast. And when you try to do everything at once, nothing ever really gets done to the best of its ability. The same way when we're struggling to rush and get all of our products done and then end up making mistakes or having poor quality, the same thing will happen online. I promise you, it has happened to me. I have been there and I have done it. I am trying really hard going into 2026 to eliminate some of those poor practices from my past and taking into consideration some new strategies to continue to build my business going forward. Start with one social media platform. Start with one thing you're going to do to set up your online website, or get onto Etsy or wherever you plan to sell. Just do one thing at a time. Do not try to match yourself to some of these other online businesses that have been around for years. It will just create a lot of frustration and it will not be successful for you.
So start with one platform, one audience, one offer, and then build slowly and intentionally.
If you're moving from an in-person craft fair booth or a booth within a storefront and you want to move online, this series that I have starting in 2026 is perfect for you. We are going to move from booth to browser. And in this series, which is perfect for beginners who are really trying to sell online and want to do it the right way without costing a lot of money or basically killing your confidence in it. You want to really go into things intentionally and confidently, and that's what this series is going to do. So if this is something that is of interest to you, please make sure you subscribe below and stay tuned, because the first episode is coming out next Sunday.